Thank you, Mr. Chair. My amendment would codify the practice of releasing unemployment data by the Department of Labor, and I do think it's essential that this is a practice that is codified because under the Trump administration, release of this data has been inconsistent. If he's just simply unhappy with the numbers. This should be easy for bipartisan approval since data collection and publication is really critical to our understanding our national economy. Some of my colleagues have argued that the Department of Labor and not the Federal Reserve Board of Governors, again, we don't even have a labor secretary right now, so I could go on about the chaos in this administration. This is just one such example. But some of my colleagues have argued that the Department of Labor and not the Federal Reserve Board of Governors should focus on employment. It's really critical just to note the difference in these agencies. The Labor Department is run by a partisan political appointee in the executive branch. The Federal Reserve is an independent agency that should not be engaging in partisan decision-making. That's what so much of the debate has been about today, maintaining the independence of the Fed. So they may sound similar, but they are not the same. That is why it is important that the Fed continue its mandate. But for my Republican colleagues who disagree, this amendment is for you. This is the opportunity to have your votes match your rhetoric. My amendment would ensure that the Bureau of Labor Statistics in the Labor Department publicly shares unemployment data disaggregated by race, ethnicity, gender, and geography. And let me just reiterate, because I do think it warrants bearing repeating, that there is a crisis for the Black worker. Unless you think that this is a harm that can be contained, it will come for everyone, because Black workers and Black women have always bared the brunt and been the canaries in the coal mine. 70% of Black women are the primary breadwinners in their households. And under this administration, they took a complete sledgehammer to the infrastructure of our federal government, which is a disservice to the people and the communities that our dedicated public servants serve, but also disrupted the livelihoods. 12% of the federal workforce were Black women, dominating those really essential spaces from HUD to the Department of Education to Health and Human Services to Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which you all work actively to dismantle and undermine. Consumer protection. Anyway, I digress. The point is, this amendment would ensure that the Bureau of Labor Statistics in the Labor Department publicly shares unemployment data disaggregated by race and ethnicity and gender and geography. It requires the information to be provided every first Friday of each month. Government officials, business economists, and the public alike all analyze this data to understand the labor market and economic situation in this nation. Again, there's a crisis for Black women, Black families, and Black futures that is coming for everyone. Now, if Congress is serious about addressing unemployment, we need unemployment data because that which gets measured gets done. Now, I first introduced this bill because last October, Donald Trump did not publish the data. That's why it needs to be codified. That was the first time in the history of BLS that an administration, Republican or Democrat, skipped a month. Keep making history for all the wrong reasons. Previously, monthly data was published during federal government shutdowns, economic recessions, and a global pandemic. With Trump firing government officials when he doesn't like the data they publish, there is an urgent need for legislation to codify transparency of unemployment data. I believe in transparency, and this bill will ensure no president can hide the true state of the economy from the people. Moreover, this amendment codifies the practice of disaggregating the data. It's not enough to simply know how many people are unemployed. We need to know their background, their gender, their geography, and their industry in order to fully understand the picture here. So let's look at the current unemployment crisis. While we have a 4.3% unemployment rate, it is not evenly distributed for all communities. It is disproportionately hurting Black families, Black workers. The rate is 7.3%. While for the white worker, it is 3.7%. This is a stark contrast, which is why I've been calling for a plan of action. It is a 5-alarm fire that cannot be ignored. My amendment would codify my BLS Act to ensure transparency of unemployment data, and I urge my colleagues to vote Yes.